So the other day I saw a post on Facebook from a guy named Harris Frank who said my son was hit by a running car while coming back from college last week. He was hit by a running car. My heart bleeds every day. I bought a PS5 for him. He never got to see it. I want to give out the PS5 for free to someone who needs it. Seeing the PS5 every day hurts my soul. DM me if you are interested in the PS5 console. And I thought, oh my gosh, this poor father. I couldn't imagine what he must have been going through. So I messaged him and I said, I'm so sorry to hear about your son. Do you still have the PS5? And looking back, I guess that sounds a bit insensitive, but he said he really wanted to get rid of it. Anyway, he responded and he said, yes, thanks for your condolences. You can take the PlayStation and we hope that it really helps your family. Where are you located? I tell him what city I'm in and he says, I'm currently in Connecticut, but I can send it to you through FedEx if you don't mind. I moved to Connecticut to my mom because I couldn't cope living alone after the incident. I can send it to you through FedEx, you just pay for the shipping fee if you don't mind. Poor guy's so heartbroken he can barely string together a sentence. But I say, okay. Then he asked, are you promising me you won't sell the game if I give it to you for my son's sake? I said, I will play it in his honor. Then he asked for my address so he can calculate the shipping costs, and he says, I just checked on the shipping fee and it costs approximately $53. I hope you can afford that so I can go ship it to you now. And if I ship it today, it will be delivered to you tomorrow noon. It is next day delivery. Then he goes on to give me a Cash App account for a guy named Eastside Trey and tells me to send the money there. And this is where I start to get suspicious. Why does he want me to send money to a third party? Scammers typically do this because if they're overseas, then they need someone in the USA to collect it and launder it for them. And the reason that I think that that's what's going on here is because I took this post about a son being run over by a car and I did a search for it on Facebook and I found an endless amount of profiles saying the exact same thing. Their son got hit with a car and they want to give away the PS5 to heal their broken hearts. And I thought that the Nigerian prince scam sounded ridiculous. Anyway, I just started messaging all these accounts to express my condolences and ask about the PS5. And they all responded in the exact same way. They want to give it to me for free, but they need me to pay some random guy for shipping costs. And undoubtedly, when the money clears, I'll be out $53 with no PS5 to show for it. So instead of sending money, I just decided to have some fun with these guys. I wrote to Harris Frank and I said, what was your son's favorite game? He said soccer and combat, then car racing. I asked, did he ever play Battlefront? He said, yeah, he do. I said, what about Elden Ring? Yeah, he does have Elden Ring on the PS5. Then I said, what about Yahoo Boys? Now, Yahoo Boys is actually a nickname for young men in Nigeria who scam, and it was enough to earn me a block. I also had a grieving mom named Victoria who asked me where I'm located, and I said Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah, that also resulted in a block. I kept doing this, and some even started to curse me in Yoruba. And this was all very fun for me, but I wanted to go undercover and learn more about the inner workings of this scam. So I logged in as Microphone and I found a guy named Lance Ortiz who had the exact same story about his son. I started talking to him about the PS5 and eventually he wanted me to pay some guy named Lawrence through Cash App. But I saw a comment in my last video that said that the word "allay" is something to throw out in order to fish scammers. They use it as kind of a code word to determine if the person they're communicating with is a scammer as well. So I gave it a shot and I said to Lance, "allay." And then he said a bunch of Nigerian stuff that he has since deleted, but he went on to say I knew. Wait, did it work? Does he think that I'm a fellow scammer? And could I get him to tell me more about his operation and this Lawrence guy? I said, will you teach me? And he says, what? I say, how to get money. He said, I don't understand what you mean. And I said, I want to trick Americans into sending me money. How do you get the money from Lawrence's account? And he said, I will teach you how it works. What's your WhatsApp number? And I thought, this is it. I'm about to go undercover with a Nigerian scammer and learn how they move their money. Lance soon texts me on WhatsApp and he says, so what do you want from me, Mike? I said, to teach me about the scam. I want to know how you move money from USA to Nigeria. You wanted me to send it to that guy named Lawrence. He said, Bitcoin. Bitcoin wallet works in Nigeria. And this confirms what I suspected. There must be a guy here in the USA named Lawrence who's receiving money from scam victims and then sending Bitcoin to this scammer. I said, you know Lawrence? Is he a guy here in the USA? He said, I have some guys that do have a friend in the USA. They give me Lawrence details and they will credit me in Naira. I said, so you text Lawrence and have him buy the Bitcoin? Or your friend texts Lawrence? He says, my friends. Okay, so Lawrence is the money mule here in the States. And not only is Lawrence taking a small cut from every deal, but the friends lining him up are also taking a cut. So when this scammer Lance learns that I'm an American who could potentially be his very own mule, he gets very excited. He asks me, can you receive money in your Cash App? I say yes. He says, show me a screenshot of your Cash App. And I do, because if I can get victims to send me money instead of Lawrence, I can return it back to them and hopefully warn them about what's really going on. So I say, let's see if you can get more people. I will help you. And he's like, how will I trust you? I say, what do you have to lose? And he says, if I send money to you, you will not run with it and block me? I say, nah, we're business partners. So he goes on to give me instructions on how to be a money mule. Once I get money in my Cash App account, I will use it to buy Bitcoin, and Lance will provide the address of where to send it. This is the fastest way for a scammer in Nigeria to collect money from their victims. And once I'm on board, Lance goes to post about the PS5 in various Facebook groups when all of a sudden he's notified that a hold has been placed on his account. Apparently, Facebook recognizes when someone is spamming a group, and it's good to know that they're trying to do something about it. But scammers can always just use another account, and it turns out that there's a market for hacked and stolen Facebook accounts run by scammers. These are just a bunch of Yahoo boys with a Telegram group sharing their secrets. And Lance proposes that we buy another account to keep the work going. You can even buy stolen IDs in the event that it needs to verify your identity. Now, this is all very weird, but in order for this undercover operation to continue, I gotta give this scammer the tools that he needs. So I ask him, how much for an account? He says $30,000. $30 in your country. Worth it. So I proceed further down this rabbit hole by actually sending this guy $30 in Bitcoin. And he does exactly what he promised, and he buys an account for a guy named John Smith. Not the most convincing name, but he says, we'll make a lot of money in this, I promise you. My friend just collect $1,000 now. And now this guy thinks that he's some kind of a kingpin because he's got me as his partner in crime. He says, when all my friends want to collect money, I will ask them to use your Cash App, okay? And that's when I start thinking, either I'm going to save a lot of people, or I'm going to get a visit from the FBI. FBI! Clear right! Ah! But soon enough, Lance says I have made the post. And it seems like he's posted it in an automotive group. But as soon as I notice that the post is public, I send over someone who might be interested in this free PS5. A guy named Ben Dover. You guessed it, that's me, and I'm going to mess with him from both ends. I message this John Smith account and I say, hi, saw your post about your son's PS5. Is it still available? Lance then starts messaging me on WhatsApp to let me know that he's got a fish on the line. But it's really just me using a different Facebook account. And I have that account continue the conversation until John eventually asks me to send money for shipping. And who do you think that he tells Ben Dover to pay? A guy named Microphone on Cash App. Now, I only have one Cash App account, so I can't really pay myself. But I can make this scammer think that I did by creating a fake screenshot. Shout out to my friend Gambit for making this great tool to fool scammers. And after I send it to the scammer, he gets very excited, and he gets back to me on WhatsApp and he says, do you receive it? Talk to me, Mike. It's been sent. Send my share through Bitcoin, Mike. And eventually he just calls me. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
What's up? What's up?
Do you receive the money?
Yeah. Yeah, it came through.
Ah, 52, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
I know you have spent a lot on this. Send 20 and keep 30.
So this person thinks that they're getting a free PS5, right? But are you going to ship him the PS5?
Yes, I'll show you everything.
But you don't really have a PS5 to give to them, right?
Yes.
Like what if they get mad? Like when they don't get the PS5, what are they going to do? Are they going to come after me?
No, it's nothing because it's not your name. We don't use your name. You get it.
So you don't feel bad stealing $52 from this Ben guy? You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Like you have no sympathy at all that you're stealing from somebody?
I'll talk to him. Don't worry about that.
Like you have no problem? Like you sleep fine at night knowing that you steal from people?
Yes, we don't have any problem about that. Me and you, we are safe. Don't worry about that.
But I'm worried about this guy. Like he's gonna get all mad that he sent $52 and he's gonna have nothing to show for it.
Mike, what are you saying?
I'm saying that don't you think it's kind of messed up to scam people like this?
Nothing's going to happen, Mike.
What? Well, apparently my little guilt trip talk didn't give him a change of heart because he goes back to bend over and he makes up some excuse about how shipping is going to cost $60 more. He even tries to make me think that he's at the FedEx store. But he doesn't want Bend Over to send that $60 to his new friend Microphone. He wants him to send it to that freaking Lawrence guy. And that really pisses me off. So I call him on WhatsApp to give him a piece of my mind.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, what's going on?
Uh,
You said I was gonna be your guy. I was gonna be your pickup guy, and now you're telling Ben to send money to somebody else? What are you doing? I thought we had a deal. Huh? Is that you? Is that you sending that? Why are you telling Ben to pay somebody else $60? I thought you and I had a deal. I thought I was gonna be your guy. We had a chance to make some money, and now you're gonna have him send money to somebody else?
Are you the?
Yeah. Yes, I'm the other guy. I never sent the money. I sent that money to myself. To trick you.
Wow.
I played a joke on you. How's it feel?
Wow. You tried.
Yeah. So you tried to scam somebody else, and I scammed you instead. So you're gonna go find yourself a better job, okay? Because scamming doesn't pay off. There's better things you can do.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it's been fun. It's been fun playing with you this last couple days.
What do you say?
But you need to go find a better job. You need to go find something better to do.
Please, can you just please give me the $20?
No, I'm not going to send you the $20. There's no $20. I sent myself that money. There is no $20. I taught you a lesson on scamming, and I hope that you learned your lesson. And this was followed by the typical sob story with him saying, we don't have enough to feed ourselves here, and that's why we engage in scamming. But I'm not going to give him $20 simply because he begged. I want him to earn it. So I say, okay, what can you do for me for $20? He said, I don't know, Mike. I said, come on, what's something nice you can do? He's like, what do you want me to do, Mike? I said, show me something cool. And there's so much that he could do. He could sing a song for me. He could teach me something about his culture. Or he could even give me a virtual tour of where he lives. And that's exactly what he ended up doing. And he helped me to see what life is like for a struggling young Yahoo boy. And I thought it was pretty cool and thoughtful and even worth $20. I'm not showing you this because I think you should feel bad for these scammers. I'm showing you this because I think you should be grateful for what you have and for where you live. Because there's always someone who's a lot worse off than you are. And now you know a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes of this scam, and it might help you respond differently next time you run into something like it. I really appreciate all you guys who watch my videos, and I hope to keep sharing stories just like this. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.